Smooth jazz. With your host. Hey, everybody, we are back for another episode of Faith and Whatever with your faithful few. That's a good nickname for the four of us.
Faithful few and our followers.
And
the faithful few.
Yeah, the faithful few and friends. Because they're not just followers, they're friends of our podcast.
And there are few of them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, touche. So this is episode 10. We are really excited. We have done 10 full episodes. So thank you to the handful of you that have been listening. Some pretty nice shout outs for some good friends. Luke Rollins, Jose Castaneda. Appreciate guys like you, and Eric Cazares or Cazares, and then
How do you say that last name?
Cazares. Yeah, Eric Cazares. And then who else?
I went to high school with that guy. Terrible human being.
I'm glad he won't even hear that. I don't even know if he listens.
He doesn't really listen.
Really not.
And then
like President Obama? He's a friend of the podcast.
You totally stole my thunder. That's who I was going to say next. And then our lovely friend in Czech Republic. We are grateful.
Veronica.
Yeah, Veronica. We linked to her band.
Send us your music.
And so we are here for a good show. We've got some great stuff coming up in later segments in the podcast. But first, before we jump into that, like always,
I have a bone to pick. It's first.
Before we do our introductions and before I introduce you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 episodes ago, we got in a little debate of Peaky Blinders and what studio it was created in.
Oh, yeah.
All I know is, I haven't looked it up into it, but I'm just so confused. I just wish Chris could clear it up for me. There's a category now for Netflix, it's called Netflix Originals. And Peaky Blinders is number 3. What the heck? I'm just so confused.
I see. Here's my guess, is that Netflix has the American rights to it.
Are they lying? I mean, I think a Netflix original.
Yeah, but in America it is, right? If they get the
that could very well be.
You're right. Like it says BBC 2 right there. So how can they say that?
Tiger Aspect Productions.
Right there.
Because they're the only ones bringing it to the U.S.
That doesn't count. That's not a Netflix original. It's a BBC original brought to you by Netflix.
Well, I doubt that Netflix actually makes Daredevil. There's probably a production company that...
Correct.
I mean, channels don't usually make their own actual shows.
Okay, so BBC 2 is just the production company?
That's the network it's on. They probably fund it. But the Tiger Aspect Productions...
The first season aired on BBC.
BBC 2?
BBC 2. And the Wikipedia page doesn't say anything about Netflix.
Nope. All right. So we will
That's my argument.
Looking into that issue.
I don't understand.
I'm glad we didn't get that figured out today.
Yeah, thank you. I don't feel any better about it. If you go to Netflix right now, you'll see under Netflix Originals, it says Peaky Blinders.
Netflix has acquired exclusive U.S. distribution rights from the Weinstein Company.
Okay, so they're bending that
James,
original content.
Didn't you say that
totally did.
3 episodes ago?
He did. But I think now that Netflix is calling it one of their own shows, I feel like that's not fair.
Also, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube and maybe see us looking like we're looking off into the heavens, it's because we have ourselves on a monitor.
Yeah, when I look at myself, I realize
TV.
that looks weird.
Yeah, it's like we're all it has nothing to do with the magic berries that we've eaten, which you'll find out a little bit later on in the show what those things are. So don't be alarmed there.
I just lost faith in that.
The weird
I'm
thing
not
is
sure if I
it's
can
not a
eat
reflection.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can eat another meal without magic berries now.
Yeah. So since you jumped in, let followers know that we can find you on what media platforms. What's the best way to get in contact with you?
T-Student Life, and you can follow me there.
Okay, James?
You can find me on Twitter at... on what? James Yule? There we go.
Yes.
At James Yule.
James Y-U-I-L-E.
Well, don't worry, James. We'll remind you of your Twitter handle as often as you need us.
Well, I was about to give my my YouTube title.
What's your
YouTube screen name?
You have a YouTuber name? Or do you not want to give that out?
I don't mind. It's Video James.
Video James. Okay. And then, Chris, what are you at?
At Marion Ranch.
Marion Ranch.
Yep, where I post pretty much nothing.
A friend of the podcast asked me personally, do you guys really record at a ranch?
Yes.
Well,
There's a small story behind all that. So I used to live on Marion Avenue, and my wife, who actually grew up on a farm, was making fun of me for being into like country music and stuff and being a kind of a suburban cowboy. So she
Okay, can you clarify what kind of country music you're into?
old like classic country, outlaw country, not as so much like the modern
Rascal
Nashville
Flat
sound
and Rascal
Yeah.
Flats.
Nah,
Just so we don't have to beat you up after the show.
not so much. But yeah, so she was making fun of me. So she called my little music making project at the time Marion Ranch Records, and I had a really good time living on Marion Avenue. So I kept that as the name for my company when
You
I made it
showed
a real
her.
company.
You showed her.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I'm at Josh_CARMAN. I don't have a cool story for a name. It's just the name I was given when I was born during an earthquake. Boom, take that.
You were named
Marion
after
Ranch.
Jesus, which is pretty cool.
So we would love to connect with you. If you have any questions for us or any topics that you would like to see us cover, always feel free to email us at faithandwhatever@gmail.com, or you can reach us on Facebook at facebook.com/faithandwhatever. So Garrett, since you kicked us off with the show, why don't you go ahead?
I'm in an argumentative mood tonight, Josh.
Okay, good.
I'm not.
No, you're not. Tell us what you've been up to this
Man,
last
I
week.
have been so busy. I am just glad that I made it here tonight. I've got this new crazy fundraiser thing at the church that we work. We host music festivals from junior high and high school, choir bands and things like that.
Like Battle of the Choir Bands?
It's
To the death.
choir competitions basically, and then they get to go to Disneyland afterwards
Jump,
to
jump,
get their
jump, jump.
award.
We're gonna owe them money soon.
Who?
The whoever does that.
Josh.
Oh,
Cousins?
Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're around anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, they are.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're still
They're
making.
back.
Also, go to
Back on YouTube?
homestarrunner.com. They're awesome.
Really?
I've got a bone to pick.
Oh, I'm done. No, not really, but I'm
No,
done.
no, but it's about you.
Okay.
You haven't had something to talk about for a few weeks now. I feel like you need more life.
That's not true. I talked about
need to do some things.
Subnautica a couple weeks ago, that video
Yeah.
game that I...
And he went to the zoo. Remember that?
That's right. Okay, so I had a kind of a fun week. I had a student from my old youth group in Michigan come out and visit me for his spring break. And I taught him how to drive stick. We showed him the Pacific Ocean for the first time. Went paddleboarding yesterday.
Did you leave him in it?
Did I leave him in the Pacific Ocean?
That wasn't a euphemism for you killed him.
I think he only went knee deep in the ocean because it was a little cold this
Probably bury the body for this
April.
Sloppy work, Garrett.
That was as far
How
as
long have you been a pastor, Garrett?
No kidding.
longer than I care to think about. No, just kidding. Think about
Yikes.
I love my job.
Yeah, no joke. Totally creating spatial distance right here. If anybody from my church is watching, Kev.
I do actually. There's some cool stuff happening. I'll talk about. I can't really talk about yet, but some cool stuff happening with some opportunities coming up for not church stuff so much, but like stuff with my schooling and book type things. So I'll talk about more about that in future podcasts.
Are you
as
writing
things.
a book? I'm going to be so pissed if you write a book before me.
We'll talk about it in another podcast when it's a little more solid.
We're talking about this off the
information.
air, and then
All right.
it'll get leaked.
All right, we can have, as far as watching content, I am just slowly picking away at Daredevil season 2. So
There we
I'm
go.
on episode probably 6, and it
haven't
is
watched it
so good.
Yes.
It is
That's
so
what I want to
good.
hear.
I have
for
not watched
sure.
it either.
It jumps around a little bit more.
Is Foggy still an awful character?
Yeah, he's so annoying. He just needs to
I
get
hate
his throat.
Foggy.
But the Punisher's so good he makes up for it.
Good.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
hear these things. Yes.
Foggy is like, please don't. You're my best friend. I love you so much. I have a man crush on you. Just don't get hurt anymore. It's like the same thing he was doing. So it's really the thing about season 1 is it was just very linear, and this one because Punisher's kind of introduced, but they can't just like stay him being the bad guy the whole time, even though he's kind of the anti-hero. Now they're introducing like Elektra, and then Chris told me there's other villains coming back, and so it's much more jumping around. What I did watch, I'll finish with this, is Batman versus Superman.
Man,
And,
I haven't seen it yet.
Me neither. Gosh.
I don't know if I get the hate because people who loved what's the first
Man of
Superman,
Steel.
Man of Steel, hated this one, and I'm like, I didn't love the first one. It was okay. I thought this one was far better than the first one,
Interesting.
and I feel like I'm the only one who thinks that.
I think the internet has made a culture where it's cool to hate things.
Why didn't they hate the first one? Well,
I
They
think a
did
lot of
hate the
people
first
did.
one.
Yeah, they did.
There's plenty of hate for Man of Steel on the internet.
well, there should be. This one feels like this one feels like a completely different movie. The pacing is different. The way they introduce characters is a little weird to see them like Justice League. I mean, the first one was so focused on Batman. One little hint of like Lex Luthor in a truck semi that drove by, and then now this one has. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but Batman.
I don't want to spoil anything about the title,
Plus,
but Batman is indeed in
Also,
the movie.
if you
At
haven't
least-
watched it, Superman
Chris, have you
dies.
seen it?
No,
Okay.
I wait till movies come out so I can watch them at home because
There's at least
2.5 hours is a long time.
There's straight up at least 7 new characters introduced in this movie.
Yeah.
Which
I heard
feels
that
to-
they spent a little too much time trying to set up every other movie that they wouldn't bring out.
And everything I
Right.
hear about Lex Luthor sounds like they ruined the character of Lex Luthor, unfortunately.
yeah.
Lex Luthor was a really great character in the comics who is very different than what's been described to me.
Yeah.
He's a very stoic, tough, stand right in the face of Superman and seem as strong and as tough as Superman, even though really he isn't. Right, a real just
Yeah.
very imposing figure, maybe.
Right.
But let me ask you a question, James.
Yes.
If you were going to make a comic book movie, who would you call to write it?
Who would I what?
Call to write it?
Oh man, a comic book movie called to write it. Well, actually, everybody disagrees with me, but I really like David Hayter, who wrote the Watchmen movie.
Oh,
I thought he did
interesting.
I like Watchmen.
Yeah, I think the reason why a lot of people didn't like the Watchmen movie is because they probably just wouldn't have liked the Watchmen, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think if you like the Watchmen comic, the movie did as good of a job as a movie could do.
But I'm just curious why more people don't call Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Well, because he ruined Daredevil. Well, I mean, apparently his version was going to be much better, but there was a lot of post-production editing, and apparently that
Oh, I'm looking at James.
affected it
Oh,
quite
that's
bad.
a good way to do it.
But I mean, it seems to be he has a pretty good track record overall in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And as far as I can't think of any big Hollywood people that know comic books better than he does.
I actually like Joss Whedon.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna.
I
I
think
thought you were gonna say that.
I think Avengers 2, all the stories leading up to its release, Joss Whedon had a hard time with Marvel. That they made him do a lot of rewrites. They made him pack in a lot more than what he wanted originally. But the first Avengers film, which was mostly Joss Whedon, what Joss Whedon wanted, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
And I wish they kind of would have just let Joss Whedon do his thing again for Avengers 2 instead of kind of jumping in there like they did.
I liked Avengers too.
I liked it, but it just...
How come we just can't watch movies and be in enjoyment of them?
Well, here's
I
my
do.
problem with here's
I
my problem.
agree.
Here's my problem with Avengers 2. From the very beginning, there was not one time when I felt like the Avengers were in any sort of danger. They wrecked Ultron up and down from beginning to end. He
Which
never
one's Ultron?
the villain of the film.
No, you're right. Only when he threatened people, innocent people, or something, were they ever in real, like conflict.
Yeah, I mean, every time they were in conflict with Ultron, they took him to town.
Yeah, see, these are just things I don't think about. Maybe I'm not a good.
But then
movie.
the's no tension.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of tension
So why don't you guys want? Let me know when you watch Batman
between
versus
Nighthawk
Superman.
and
And
that spy girl.
we can talk about it.
That's a weird tension. Okay. Right? Did I get that right?
No.
Sure.
Yeah, are you talking
perfect.
about Lava Girl and Shark Boy? What was that?
James, what have you been doing this week, dude?
I was playing a game. I've been getting to the scene where I want to play more tabletop and card games with my family, but not the standard ones you find in a Walmart or
Like
Target.
Exploding Kittens?
Like Exploding Kittens. And so I talked about Exploding Kittens last time, I believe, but this week we were playing a game called Forbidden Island, which that one you might be able to find in a Target now, but for a while it was kind of more, you had to find it on Amazon.
Is that with the affiliate of Fox?
No.
Okay, never
No.
mind.
So Forbidden Island, here's what makes it different than the rest. You don't play against the other people on the table. All of you together work in co-effort against the game.
I was just going to suggest another game like that.
Yeah.
The virus game? What is
Blackjack?
I don't know.
that? It was, I'll tell you in a minute.
So-
No, roulette.
So
That's
the
what
way
you're thinking of.
the way Forbidden Island works is it has tiles that are different parts of an island, and you shuffle them, and then you place them down in a grid, but the order of the tiles is based on how you place them after you shuffle. So the island can be a different design every time you play, and a set of cards that everybody has to draw from every turn makes parts of the island begin to sink. And what you have to do as players together, you have to figure out a way to get to different parts of the island, collect certain things you need to collect, which requires having certain cards in your hand.
These things help you raise an island from sinking?
No, not you. You're fighting against the island falling apart, and so you need to collect these things before the island falls apart. Then you need to get to a certain part of the island where you can fly away, and you have to have a flyaway card, whatever it's called, navigator card or something. And But you can use your turns to fulfill your objective, or you can use your turns to try to save parts of the island.
Okay.
And you're always having to balance who does what and where do they go and how do we keep the island alive while at the same time achieving our objectives. And there's a lot of co-effort. And I like it. I like it a lot. I very much suggest playing this game, Forbidden Island. It's great. I believe that there's a spin-off called Forbidden Desert, but I've not played that yet.
There's another game that I played that was similar. It involved some kind of virus that was like taken over, and it's everyone, all your friends, whoever's playing, are against the game.
Right.
And it's so much fun because there's if you won, which is rare because the game is very difficult, you all win.
Yeah. My daughters are young, and my youngest daughter is 7, very young. And so sometimes, it's easy for her to lose because everybody else is just older. And sometimes it gets discouraging for her if she's losing all the time. So a game like this really helps out because we either all lose together as a team or we all win together as a team. And that's great when you have younger kids playing with you.
The game I'm talking about is called Pandemic.
Pandemic, I've heard of it.
That's a great computer game too.
It's the same
Same idea.
Yeah, and you certain cards you pick up, all of a sudden the virus doubles its speed or something like that, and you got to race to beat it.
Yeah, I have to go look at that too.
Yeah. Chris, what have you been doing?
I recorded a new artist this week. It was nice. The music came out really good, and I am pleasantly surprised that so far everyone I've had in here to record has been really good.
Good.
I keep waiting for someone to come in that's not good,
I
but
can
so
do that
far
for
I've been
you.
lucky. So, yeah, it's really cool. I'll tweet a link to his music when we get it all finished up. But other than that, I started watching Vinyl. I think I'm about 7 episodes behind on that, so I got caught up.
On what show?
Vinyl, it's on HBO, and I can't recommend it because it's HBO. So,
Sure.
but it's
So it's terrible.
it's not that bad. It's not as bad as like Game of Thrones, I'd say. But there's a lot of
So it's got mature content.
yeah, and it's based on a record company in the early 70s. So a lot of drug use and a lot of bad behavior. But the writing's really good. The characters are interesting, and I don't really like New York as a setting. I think it's overused, and I don't
Spider-Man.
like the early 70s as a setting either.
The Wire.
Which both
I don't
of-
like the colors of the
yeah,
70s.
they always whenever they do something in the 70s, they always make it brown, like they use
Yeah.
weird filters and stuff.
Pastel yellow.
I just
Yeah.
got a call from the same place you guys just got calls from. Chris, you're next.
Real
You know what's funny
professional,
about
Josh.
that?
Real professional.
Sorry.
Without mentioning who they are, they've asked us all for money, and for 3 years in a row, I've pledged $100 and forgotten to give them money. And
Actually,
they keep calling.
they just asked me not to come back.
They just call to double check you haven't thought about it. They're like, we just want to make sure you're still not coming back because that'd be great for everybody.
It's okay. They called and I was unemployed one time. They were like, so?
So if the 70s
How are things going for
backdrop and the New York backdrop aren't that interesting, what makes the show kind of
Well,
redeeming?
that's just it. I generally don't like those, but the writing is real good and the acting's great, and so it keeps my interest. And it's kind of funny because Ray Romano is one of the main characters.
Huh.
So, but it's very different character from him than everybody who loves Ray. So, yeah.
Here's a question I've always
Kinda
had,
interesting.
and I could just be wrong here, but I've always been curious about whether the 70s really was filled with all these pastel colors, or if it's because all those things from the 70s have faded out, and we're using them as reference for what the 70s looked like. So there you go.
I have no idea.
I do know that brown cars were fairly popular. Like,
Yeah.
to get a car paint and have it be brown.
After about 1973, every car made in America was awful.
Yeah, or
in
orange
color or in
In
quality?
Orange
in
kitchens.
every
Sure.
way.
Sure.
Colors, the interiors, the shape, the engines, everything about
The
it was
function
awful.
of a car.
Just awful.
orange kitchens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those.
Yellow kitchen, lime green.
And then we got the 80s with all the brass.
Yeah,
Both are gross.
and drugs. The 80s had a lot of drugs too.
You heard it here.
80s had drugs, 70s had pastel and brown.
We're breaking news here. 20 years ago, there was a serious drug problem.
And 90s had depressed angst.
Or 30 years ago now, I
Okay.
guess.
And acid wash jeans.
Yeah, yeah, and holes in the
And
jeans.
hygienes, too.
And what do you call it? Now I can't. What's the design that the 90s always had?
Argo.
Argyle. Or checkered. Plaid?
Plaid. That's
Plaid.
what I was
Oh, yeah.
looking for. Lots of plaid.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff came out of the 90s, though.
Lots of
Good
plaid.
bands.
On that note,
I did. I came out of the 90s. So
1990.
I love TV shows that I identify with the protagonist in a very special way.
Particularly
So
James
House of
Franco.
Cards.
And not House of Cards. I am no Claire. I could not wear the shoes that she wears for as long as she
Claire.
does.
I've tried.
I have tried. I have. She has these really awesome Louis Vuitton pumps. The ones with the red heel, the red sole. Super cool. But I loved House when it was on because
Yeah, great show.
find myself not
Because you
that-
thought about pre-med?
no, because I'm not because I'm smart, but because of the misanthropic view towards humanity.
Yeah.
Not generally misanthropic. I mean, maybe, but
It's totally misanthropic.
So no, me, not the main character, but
Me too.
Misanthropic.
hating,
I agree.
hating humanity. So I heard about this TV show several years ago when it first started, and just never really got into it. And so I'm making my way through Dexter right now.
I never watched that either.
Yeah, I've had about maybe 5 or 6 days of watching,
What
total
season
watching
are you
time.
on?
6, and out of
Okay.
8. So I've gone through 6 seasons in maybe like 9 days.
To have your time.
So it's pretty good. Well, I kind of watch while I'm doing other stuff. That's why
like working on your thesis.
a phone is good.
Yeah,
Thesis
how's
is
that
going to be
thesis
about
going?
serial killers.
Yeah,
And-
changing it.
In the Bible.
So I stopped. Okay, there's only a handful of shows that I've ever stopped and not felt the desire to go back and watch them. And at the moment, the only one I can think of is Dexter.
What season did you finish at?
Probably 3.
You missed it. Season 4 is the best season.
I mean, is
Just
that
character development. Like
is it bad again after that? So I mean, like,
No, I don't know.
bad.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say it was ever bad. It just didn't do it. It
Yeah.
didn't hold me.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just more bringing it up to state the fact that I was doing something
Yeah,
last
for sure.
week.
I just wanted to know your.
No. I don't really care about it that much. I love the character of Dexter. He doesn't understand emotions, and I feel very much that way as a person.
We were in a time in television when almost all the protagonists were the villains too. You know, Breaking Bad, Dexter. Those
And he's pretty cool. I don't know why he talks to his dead dad as much as he does.
Not quite as much as you do.
So I
So
wonder.
you're not quite sure how to relate. To
Right. But good show, funny show. And just the way he handles emotional situations are funny, and I just relate to them very well.
I agree. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I just wish that.
Not a great show.
right.
His sister is a horrific character, probably the worst character I've ever seen in any TV series. Just that detestable.
Isn't that also his wife in real life?
Oh, I don't feel bad now. No, not at all. She's awful. But his wife on the show is kind of annoying, but she gets killed, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I stopped before that.
Yeah, she gets killed.
And I knew that though.
So yeah, that was good. And then I was at a retreat this weekend. More importantly, went to a pastor's retreat this weekend. Had a lot of fun. We got away and we just got to do some dreaming and vision casting for what we would like our church to turn into and how we could become more effective, and particularly how we could better utilize technology. And so it's been a pretty fun thing. On my personal Facebook page, I posted this Easter video a couple weeks ago, and it received over 2,300 views. And it was just kind of an interesting thought to see how that kind of works, and just the way that we can be effective when trying to utilize technology in the spreading of the gospel.
So they were like, I don't know if videos work, Josh. And you were like, bam, 2,300 views.
No, it was weird because we're not.
Oh, my grandmother.
We're we had 11 shares. 3 of them were my mom, which I appreciate. Thanks, Mom.
3 of them.
So we're a smaller church, right? We're about 150 there. So, the utilization of technology is always an interesting issue. What can we afford to do? What do we have the labor power to do? We don't want to overburden people with that kind of stuff. But it was just cool to see our senior pastor, people just kind of not from this generation really trying to think about how to utilize and be effective in this generation, right? Because we talk about this idea of doing ministry in the year that you're in, and if you want to be contemplative and ahead of the curve, some type of social media engagement, it's just necessary now. You're not even ahead of anything. And if you're not doing it, you're behind the 8 ball. And so, just trying to figure out how to keep all those things working. And so we're excited to see kind of those changes. So, it was a good week. Sounds
There might
like
be a book coming out that would be really good for that.
And, if you need a co-author, I might know some people sitting to your left that could help you with that. So,
And by left, he means your other left.
Chris?
What?
The other left. All right, so we're gonna jump straight into our news articles
4
here.
minutes of news.
Well, no, we're going to now that these magic berries are on there.
Oh, okay. We just want to do that. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll go ahead and we'll save our news articles for the next segment. This one that we're gonna
It's something
do
much
is
much better.
way awesome. There. So here are the magic berries.
Now,
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We are super excited to be with you. This is a special episode of our Faith in Whatever podcast. We are celebrating our 10th, not anniversary, but episode. We haven't been doing this for 10 years. We've been doing this for a few months.
10th episode anniversry.
Is that how you'd say it?
Sure.
Okay. So it's our 10th episode anniversary.
Isn't that
it's the anniversary of our first date.
Sure.
Isn't that with a D, like the podcast number 10?
I don't know. But we're really excited. So
Deca cast.
one of the things that Garrett is really into is trying weird combinations of things and combining those odd combinations with other weird combinations of things.
He likes to do drugs and eat food.
And right, but not drugs like the type of drugs you're thinking of. So we're just totally going to hand this over to you, Garrett, because this is a little bit out of our norm. So we want you to go ahead and explain to us what we're going to be doing. And just so everybody understands, I have come prepared with my barf bag for when the inevitable happens and I throw up. So if you hear any crinkling on the podcast, if you're not watching the segment,
You better
don't
not get it on
freak
my
out.
rug.
I won't get it on the rug.
Okay, so we just ingested some magic berries. Man, I should have got the scientific name.
By the way, we're all losing our jobs after this just for the name of that.
I should have got the scientific name.
It's
but
a legal drug.
These are these are real berries that exist. I think they're native possibly to South America, and don't quote me on that. And they make sour things taste sweet. They change the receptors in your taste buds, and they make things taste really different. You can get them in pill form, just dried, and it's like a unsweetened sweet tart when you say something like that. You know, like the compressed powder pill. And none of you guys, I've done it twice before, just for fun.
I'm already tripping
I don't know what else you do it for, but neither James or Josh have ever done it before. So this is the first time. I want you guys both to grab a lemon, because I think that's a great place to start. And just go ahead and just eat it.
Okay.
And not you, Garrett?
Yeah, I'm going to eat it too.
Also, anybody who knows me in any capacity knows I hate fruits.
So just lick it first.
Oh, wow.
Am I supposed to do that?
James,
Yeah,
you tried
try
it.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, it did make it pretty sweet, actually. I'm not going to lie.
That's incredible.
Like your mouth still reacts like it's sour, right? Like
Yeah, you're
you
right.
salivate, but it's not sour at all.
Chris, that's pretty cool. I'm not going
This
to lie.
tastes incredible.
That's pretty weird.
You can just eat it, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of like...
It tastes sweeter than candy.
It kind of feels like witchcraft. I'm keeping the bag here, though.
Oh man, Paul would have.
We need to pass these out with the Lord's communion.
All right, what else? What's next? Try.
Make God's body taste even sweeter.
Let's try green apple. I've never tried green apple while I'm tripping on sweet magic berries.
Wait for the bite.
Give me a little bit of that.
Whoa.
I do not like apples at all. Oh, I got two. I don't want one in case I throw that up. How was it, James?
It's really good.
Definitely sweeter than a red apple. Everyone here is eating. Yeah,
We
weird.
should explain the flavor. It
Yeah.
tastes like savory sweet.
What do you mean?
We're eating a Granny Smith, which are usually super sour,
Yeah.
but it tastes incredibly sweet with almost a savory boldness to it.
If you don't eat it, put it over here.
Oh, you have a trash. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna take something that's typically somewhat sweet, like an orange.
It kind of tastes
There
like
you go.
somebody slammed sweet tarts into your mouth at the same time as the apple I just ate. So
Try-
I didn't
try-
really feel
try
it on
it
the
on-
apple.
The apple tastes like 2 tablespoons of sugar with like brown sugar.
Just wait till you try something that's already kind of sweet, like an orange.
All right.
I do like oranges.
It's almost too sweet.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes like the kind of orange you get when you get fake orange flavoring in like one of those cheapo pies they sell at the store.
Yeah,
like
with lots of sugar in it.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
I
But
got
it's a real orange.
I have a one that might match that. You know when you eat the gummy hamburgers?
Yes.
It tastes like the bun from
Yeah.
the gummy hamburgers.
Okay, I've never tried a kiwi either, so let's try kiwi.
Oh, I'm excited for kiwis.
Well, that's too much.
Kiwis
I'm gonna take a few.
They can be pretty sweet. But we tried to grab most of our fruits fairly unripe, just to get the extra sour. Whoa.
There's 3 grown men chewing. Nothing weird about that.
I'm not sure how to explain that for
Makes
me,
for some
Garrett.
great
It almost takes
podcasts.
away the kiwi flavor
Yeah.
and just tastes sweet. I don't think you like this texture, Josh.
No, the texture's fine. It doesn't really taste like anything. Just kind of feels like it makes it taste like nothing.
Yeah, that
I
kind of
feel
takes
like I'm eating chewy nothing.
that kind of takes away the flavor of the kiwi. I don't know why. I don't get a little weird. You want to get weird?
Let's get on sour cream and
Okay.
yeah, let's get some of the weird stuff.
Blah.
Okay.
That-
Just take a spoonful of sour cream, which
Just a
I don't really
spoonful of
enjoy.
sugar, make the
I don't really
medicine
enjoy sour
go
cream for
down.
anything, but
I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Look at this. Look at this.
well, you can. We'll tell you how it tastes, and you can see if that would be enjoyable.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
Is he lying? Chris, he's totally lying, huh?
How would I know?
Yeah.
It tastes some sourness.
I hate
There's
sour
a little
cream.
bit of sour, but there's still a lot of sugar.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I wouldn't say that was sweet.
No, it's like somebody melted a string cheese. That's
Nope.
exactly what it
But
tastes
take
like.
a little
Somebody.
bit. Just take a
No, I
little
just
bit.
did take a little
Try
bit.
just a
Get
little
outta
bit.
I did. I took a big.
Try just a little bit. No, just a
Just a
tiny
little
bit.
bit.
here. No, Chris, somebody
Like-
melted
Pretend like it's frosting.
that string cheese.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
It tastes like the whipped cream you put on top of
The ready
pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try some vinegar. Vinegar is pretty good because it's made from
Give me a
grapes,
shot of vinegar.
and for some reason we only have, did you bow out of this? There's no
I
shot
want-
glass for you.
I only had 2 shot glasses.
Fair enough.
No, that's a weak shot.
You're still drinking vinegar.
Yeah, but I'm still a man.
Just give me a little bit.
That's weird.
Just a tiny, tiny bit.
Wow.
That is strange.
It tastes like Mexican candy. What Mexican candy is that?
The stuff that you're not supposed to eat because it has a lead paint in it.
I remember as a fourth
Yeah, the
grader,
flaky stuff.
there was like
What's that
a
called?
Mexican candy that was sold
That's
by
strange.
a vendor.
Definitely know it's vinegar, but it's super sweet,
Oh.
super thick.
It tastes it tastes exact. Chris, you know what I'm talking about? That Mexican candy? It's
Tamarind candy?
tamarind.
Yeah.
It tastes like tamarind.
I wanted to buy tamarind because it's sweet
No,
and sour.
That was awful.
But
the
you gotta buy-
vinegar tastes just like tamarind.
I kind of like the vinegar. You want some more?
Oh.
I'll take a little shot.
I don't know why. It just
Nope.
What?
the vinegar is kind of
What's the vinegar itself?
it's got honey in it, but
What's
it's,
soda taste like, Josh?
Oh, I just tasted regular. The acidity in soda is too strong for anything that
It's a
man could
California
create.
white balsamic with honey in it, but
That vinegar.
trust me, it's really sour.
That smell's gonna make me yak, dude.
We're gonna try. Go ahead and try. Oh, we didn't try grapefruit.
Oh, yeah, grapefruit. This is a good-looking grapefruit, by the way.
I've never tried grapefruit either. I'm tripping out on magic berries.
Grapefruit actually tastes good.
Okay, but you see what I mean? Doesn't take away the bitterness.
Yeah.
The bitterness is still there.
That's like the perfect flavor balance.
I'm gonna do this with my kids, and they are gonna trip.
Tripping
Just
out.
don't
man.
feed them vinegar.
Yeah, the bitterness comes through. So when someone says try, like beer, it doesn't really like someone says Guinness tastes like chocolate milk. I think you're nuts. So I brought some beer and I brought sour beer specifically. We don't. The thing about this beer is we don't know what it tastes like without tripping out on magic berries.
Tripping out. But it's sour apricot. Comes from Fruitlands, San Diego, in California.
The Modern Times Brewery. It's a very, very popular, explosive growth in the past 2 years. So I've
We
heard
should
of.
get that checked out.
Josh, how you doing over there? Doing okay?
Not gonna puke. I'm surprisingly okay. All the fruit passed. The only thing that got me like a little gaggy was the vinegar.
Yeah.
That
well,
would
it's-
make me not feel good.
I
at
think
all.
your body's still like you just drank vinegar. You know,
Yeah.
your body's like that's if you drink too much of that, that's probably not good for you.
But the rest of them were.
The more sour, the
Totally.
better the effect, right? The
yeah,
lemon.
Yeah, the lemon and the grapefruit tasted the best. The orange was too much.
There's a little bit more in there. It's really sweet.
Is it really?
Yeah.
A sweet beer is not usually a good thing. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, if I think of it as beer, a little problematic. But if you think of it as
If you think of it as what it is,
if you think of it as almost
Problematic.
like a store-bought like juice drink, It tastes exactly the way you'd want it to.
All right, let me see.
It's $7 for that juice drink.
It was $6.99. Yeah, I've never liked it. It kind of ruins beer for me. But I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, it tastes like something you'd get in the Gatorade aisle.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
If they served this at a beer, I'd be like, "What is this? Like chick beer?"
And by that he means baby chickens.
Not sexist at all. What is this college party beer? Okay,
Natty
I'm
like.
gonna try another lemon because I just like the
Yeah, give me a lemon.
mind trip, full on mind trip of eating a lemon that tastes like lemon drop candy. No, I'm sweeter than that.
Yeah, I'll take one more. I've eaten more fruits in this 6-minute podcast segment than I've ever
just
eaten
gonna
in
eat-
my entire life.
Like
at
I'm
one
gonna eat
time.
this
Probably
whole
true.
this
No,
whole
it's not
chunk
a
of
joke.
lemon, this whole lemon wedge that I would think would have a real strong physiological effect on
Do
my
it.
mouth.
Do it. Don't talk. Just do it.
It's fading off a little bit though.
Blah.
But I mean,
I regret nothing.
so try this at home.
No, try this at home.
Totally try at home.
It's so gross.
The lemon's gross now.
No, the way he's eating those things in
Oh.
combination
I
is
just dipped
disgusting.
this in sour cream.
Oh, for sure. I was making weird combinations the last time I did
Ah.
this, like vinegar, some sour cream, and like a little bit of vinegar.
Oh yeah.
Dude, seriously,
yeah.
get out. Just leave.
I don't really see anything in there. That helps the sour cream. I can pour you some more.
That lemon's pretty good, actually.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And it definitely has an artificial sweetened flavor, like you put a bunch of stevia. But I don't want.
Stevia.
It's just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. You can get these. You can get the magic berries on Amazon. That's the best price.
I don't know why they're not putting magic berries like dust in a lot of foods.
So I've seen two ways. There was this TV show on food, Future of Food, that I watched. It was like a 6 special miniseries, and some guy wanted to see if he could help world hunger issues by having people eat magic berries before and eat typically unpalatable
Josh.
things.
So unsavory. Just unholy.
He wanted to see
Gosh.
he wanted to see if he could
Make
make
sure you smile real.
he wanted to see if he could make unpalatable but healthy, easy to find food someone could find like in some starving country and survive off of it. It was fairly unsuccessful. But then there's this whole restaurant in Japan.
Can you IV
That-
them directly into your?
I don't know. There's a restaurant in Japan that has no sugar in any of their desserts, but sour in place of sugar. So the cake would be like an unsweetened lemon cake, and you eat the pill before they serve it. They serve it the actual fruit, fresh fruit, and you eat it before your dessert. And none of your dessert has sugar in it. You just
And it totally changes that.
yeah.
That's so crazy.
So there is a guy. There is one person who's designing tomatoes with the same gene in the magic berry because I guess the tree is fairly hard to grow. The fruit doesn't ship very well, meaning it doesn't.
And tomatoes taste like trash nowadays.
Well, I don't think it won't change the flavor of the tomato. They're still going to not synthesize. They're still going to process the tomato and make a pill form out of it. But tomatoes grow so much more
Tomatoes
plentiful
are the absolute worst.
than this berry.
I
So he wants to genetically modify the tomatoes with this property,
Okay.
so that they can because these pills are like $2 a piece, which doesn't seem like a lot, but a pack of 10 is $20. Like, I don't know if I want to is that going to be that much fun? You know what I mean? So what if they were a pack of 20 for $1? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like then would people?
Or you could just put it in food, right, to just enhance the flavor. Of food.
Yeah, but I don't remember. So the
yeah,
pill took
Chipotle.
15
Why are you
minutes
guys not on this?
to dissolve.
That's
So it's
true.
more of a precursor to your food. You're going to eat it ahead of time and then try different foods and maybe
No, that's
eliminate
fair.
sugar. Maybe reduce the amount of sugar people need in. I don't know how they would do that. Hey, drink this and then drink our soda. I don't really know. There's got to be a use for it. It's fairly new in the food world. So just give it some time maybe and they'll create more productive use than tripping out on food.
So that's the cool thing. You heard it here first. I guarantee you probably have not seen. I guarantee probably that you have not seen any other
guarantee
podcast
that.
segment do this. And if you have, touche. Be sure to follow us on all forms of social media, faithandwhatever.com. If you want to reach us there, you can find us on Facebook /faithandwhatever. Cheers, gentlemen. That was a very good,
Fun.
very
Good times.
segment. Good
Happy
job.
10.